channel, Omni Reactions, where every time you come on my channel, you're gonna get this truth. Today, I got something that you guys have to see, something that you cannot miss. Today, I'm talking about gender wars between men and women. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy this compilation reaction video that I put together for you guys. You already know what it is. I got a banger for you guys today. You can't miss it. Let's dive into it.
This situation keep happening. It showed up in work. It showed up in my friendships. It showed up in my relationships. At what point do you hold yourself accountable and say, maybe there is a few things I need to work on within myself?
Whenever you step out of the victim mentality, that's when you can hold yourself accountable.
And I think because of social media, we just be deep diving in the victim mentality, finding the memes that fit our situation, posting, and making it make sense.
Because what people do, and that's what we talked about the last time, what people do, especially when it comes to social media, is that they look for somebody to sympathize for their pain so they can validate their pain.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I had to pause it right here because these ladies literally hit it right on the nose. They are speaking nothing but facts. You may not be able to control what happens to you in your life. There are going to be moments in your life where you are going to get done and dirty. You are going to get hurt. However, even though you cannot control that 100% of the time, you are 100% responsible for going through that healing process. So therefore, you can learn the lesson that needs to be learned. So therefore, you can progress as a human being living on the planet. I understand how it feels to be hurt, but what I'm not going to do is stay in that victim mentality to the point where I cannot move forward in the future. And then also, I really had to learn this lesson as well. Pain can actually force you to grow. It can either break you or it can redefine who you are as a person. I really got that from Eric Thomas. However, I really want to talk about this word called accountability because I see gender wars that is going on right now in 2026. And I think that a lot of these problems can be solved from both sides actually taking accountability. I want to talk about the word accountability. So I took the initiative to pull up the different definitions from out of the BLB, the etymology, and then also, last but not least, the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, because it's very important to understand not only what the word means, but where the word actually originates from. So let's dive into this. So the word accountability originates from the Latin word accuntare, to account. Etymologically, it signifies the obligation to provide a count, explanation, or justification of actions, assets, or decisions to an authority, essentially meaning being answerable or standing to be counted. Okay, so secondly, I want to talk about the Oxford's definition of accountability. So it clearly states that accountability is the fact of being responsible for decisions or actions and the expectations to explain them when asked. It represents an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility. Accountability, according to the BLB, is the universal reality that all individuals will answer to God for their actions. See, we all been victims, but the question is, are you going to stay one?
Absolutely.
If we all take ownership in saying that both men and women are valuable individuals, that we are here to complement each other and not compete with each other, that I'm supposed to have lack so that you have value, you're supposed to have lack so that I have value, that's how literally everything, we're all like locks and keys to each other. But if I continue to find out where you're deficient so that I feel better, I'm going to continue to devalue you so that I feel better about who I am, missing the fact if I devalue.
You know, and whenever people operate like that, I get far away from them because they're operating inside of their insecurities. Because if you have to put me down in order for you to function properly, that means that you still have to do a lot more self-development within inside of yourself internally. So all at the end of the day, I 100% agree with her because I understand ultimately what she's trying to say. Where your strengths are, my weaknesses may be. And where my strengths are, your weaknesses may be.
I know life is hard for men. It's hard for women too. It's hard for all of us. Life is about living, problems pop up, figuring out what you got to do to make the problem go away, to get through it. You keep your eye on God, you keep your faith in God, he bring you through it.
And I have to pause this video right here. And I'm sorry that I'm pausing it so soon, but I have something very important to say because I 100% agree with what he's saying. You put God first, number one, but also recognizing that in life consists of a whole bunch of problems. And you have to learn how to be a good critical thinker and not always operate off of emotions. You have to learn how to become a logical being. Don't get me wrong. Of course, have empathy, of course, love and things of that nature. But you have to learn how to be a good critical thinker, because if you don't, the problems that will occur in your life will slowly consume you and take you down. But I digress.
The devil is the enemy.
In fact, a bad idea to act like men and women are separate species. That no, it's not smart to promote the idea that women are creatures with some innate knowledge that men could never understand. That yes, it's a bad idea to promote the idea that men are inherently evil creatures who aren't capable of learning or growing. That it's bad to act like there's some innate masculinity to men and some innate femininity to women, and that it's not just a social construct that's pushed on us since day one. That it's not a good idea to act like women are some mysterious concept men could never understand, and that men are some crazy enigma that women could never understand. We're all just people. Women are humans, men are humans.
So I had to pause this video right here because I 100% agree with her. All at the end of the day, if we have these negative thought processes about each other, the only thing it's going to lead to is our extinction of us actually surviving on the planet.
Both are people who are capable of doing bad things.
Facts.
The difference in the statistics we see is largely based on culture and socialization. We are not different species that can never understand each other.
The nuclear family is under attack.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, is the negative byproduct of this whole gender war thing. It used to be fun. We've always had it. We watched Martin. We watched Living Single. The banter between the men and the woman.
And you know what? I agree with that. The nuclear family is under attack. And the reason for that is that because on both sides of the table, no one wants to take accountability for their own actions.
I don't know about you, but I'm really growing weary of this gender war that we're currently in. It's this idea that one group of us has to get pushed down so that another group can be built up. This idea that only one group is the prize. Well, here's the reality. We are all the prize to someone. And although I have studied third and fourth wave feminism and their talking points, and I've also studied the red pill community and the manosphere, in my mind, these two groups are the same. They seek to push down the other to raise themselves up as being better or stronger or more worthy, and nothing could be farther from the truth.
Okay, so I had to pause the video right here because I absolutely 100% agree with her. And all at the end of the day, we have to recognize that we are both the prize. We both have something valuable that we can actually bring towards the relationship. And if we keep going along with these ideologies that are tearing us apart from each other, eventually it will lead to extinction from the nuclear household.
These groups create a one-sided, selfish narrative. And that is precisely how we got here. Only thinking about ourselves and not developing our natural instincts to be in healthy, loving relationships, to give and be of service to others, and to create and produce something of value.
Literally, accountability is the quickest path to being happy. It's a curveball because people love to blame someone else because it feels good in the moment. But if you go the other way, and you're like, it's all on me, over a period of time, you'll realize how awesome that is.
Hyper-awareness is when we point out and
you know what? I have to agree with that. And all at the end of the day, when my life started going in a upward direction, I really had to come to a self-actualization on where I was at in life. And I also had to learn how to take accountability while simultaneously building my relationship with God. But that actually leads to my next talking point, because I really want to talk about accountability according to what the scriptures say. Okay, so I want to go ahead and cook for a second. So I want to talk about accountability according to the scriptures. So if we go to 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10, it clearly states, we must all appear before Christ's judgment seat to receive what is due for our earthly deeds. Also, if you go to the book of Matthew chapter 12, verse 36 through 37, it clearly states, we are accountable for every word spoken. Our words will either justify or condemn us. You see, scriptural accountability is a gift. While salvation comes through Christ, we are still called to account for our conduct. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13 clearly reminds us that nothing is hidden from God. All is laid bare before him. By practicing accountability now, we prepare ourselves for eternity and invite true healing and change into our lives today. You see, embracing accountability prepares you for what's to come and plays a major role in the healing process. It serves as a necessary catalyst for change here on earth.
Criticize the flaws in other people, while self-awareness is being cognizant of who we are and understanding that we have our own flaws and may be contributing to the behaviors that we complain about in other people. For example, I am very outspoken on my platform, and I often complain that people lack accountability and operate out of emotion versus logic, and therefore get triggered by what I say.
You know what? I have to pause this right here because I do agree with her. When I started taking accountability for my own actions, I didn't have enough time to focus on what other people are doing in their life or what they're doing wrong, because I was too busy trying to build myself up with God, right? As a person. And most people who are trying to head in a better direction in life don't have time to be focused on what other people are doing. Why? Is because in order for you to move up in life, it takes a lot of focus. You see, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Taking accountability takes a lot of emotional intelligence.
Difference between taking responsibility and taking accountability for something. Here's how I see it. Responsibility is taking ownership over an action, but accountability is taking ownership over an outcome, and I'll explain. As a man, I might not be responsible for my wife's past trauma, but I am accountable to make sure that she's well covered in my care moving forward. As a police officer, I wasn't responsible for the brutality that took place in someone else's city, but I was held accountable to make sure that those same things didn't happen by my hand or in my city. As a pastor, I may not be responsible for how another church hurt you, but I am accountable to ensure that you are acknowledged and loved and covered in the house that I've been assigned to shepherd.
Accountability has stages, and the first stage of accountability is one of responsibility and liability. So if you tell someone, oh, you're accountable for that happened, well, I wasn't responsible for it, or I'm not liable for it, right? He hit me from behind, I'm not liable. Yes, that's one stage of accountability. The second is the one we just talked about, which is attraction. Right? What did I do, think, say, believe, or feel to attract this to myself? And what am I supposed to learn from it? But the most powerful one, which we can't necessarily tell people, and if we do, it's a very difficult conversation, is just simply, what are you doing to participate in this perception of either punishment, promotion, or protection?
I love the way how he put that, but this actually leads to my last and final talking point before I let you guys go today. So let's dive into it. Okay, so I want to talk about something that's very important. I want to cook for a second. I want to talk about accountability in my own personal opinion. Accountability stems from self-actualization. It is at that moment when someone holds you accountable or you hold yourself accountable for your own actions. It is the moment when you recognize whether you were in the right or you was in the wrong in certain situations, or acknowledge the direction you chose to take based on decisions you made. You see, accountability will always work in your favor once you master this essential life skill. In my own life, I had to learn humility and how to be humble to understand that accountability is an undeniable step in human growth, especially when you are trying to follow Christ. Being right is not the key. It is about having the understanding to gain empathy, for God is love, as it clearly states in 1 John chapter 4 verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Thank you for visiting my channel, I'm Reactions. Hopefully you guys learned something new today. Till next time, y'all, you already know what it is. Deuces.